I know that this will not come as a huge shock to most of you all, but it turns out it is now being reported that Carmelo Anthony's father has a warrant out for his arrest. Now, if this was a different case, this would be bombshell information. But because this is the Carmelo Anthony case, and we already expect the worst from Carmelo's family and his team, this is not as shocking as it usually would be if we were dealing with someone else. But of course, we're dealing with the Carmelo Anthony family. We have come to expect the worst from these people. And it keeps getting worse every couple of days, every week or so. Every now and then there will be a pause, things will get quiet, and then Carmelo's family will do something else stupid. Well, I'm looking at this information that has come out about Carmelo's father, and I'm not going to try to make a huge deal out of the fact that he has a history of theft and stuff like that. And I don't want to make a huge deal out of the fact that he has an active warrant out for his arrest because of unpaid traffic tickets and stuff like that. It's not a huge deal, I guess, whatever he's in trouble for. But my thing is, you got to take this and you got to add it to the long list of other things we're already dealing with. Sure, Carmelo's father having a warrant out for his arrest for some traffic violations. It's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But when you just add it to the pile of already messed up things this family has done, it's like, when are we going to get the straw that breaks the camel's back? I guess you could say. Because things are just piling up left and right. I want to go ahead and look at this, though. This comes from Sarah Fields. Confirmed. Documents provided by East Baton Rouge City Courthouse confirm that Drew Anthony, father of Carmelo Anthony, has an active warrant for his arrest in Louisiana. He failed to appear for a criminal traffic violation for improper equipment. And according to the document, his license was forfeited. This means that he either lied to the state of Texas about ever having a driver's license in another state, or he is currently driving without a license. He also has a prior criminal record that also shows multiple counts of theft. Now, when I saw this, you want to know what the first thing that came to my mind was? It wasn't, oh my God, look, there's an active warrant for Carmelo's father. How dare he not pay those traffic tickets? When I saw this, the first thing that came to my mind is, oh, okay. So the money that is being raised for Carmelo's legal defense, I guarantee you that money is going to also be used to pay for all of these other legal problems that Carmelo's family has. I know that his mom has had troubles in the past as well. Apparently, Carmelo's father is having a hard time paying some traffic tickets. Well, luckily, his son murdered some white kid and became a $500,000, so I'm sure they're going to use the money for that. There's going to be money going all over the place. The money that was donated to Carmelo. And I guarantee you, whatever legal troubles or problems Carmelo's father has, he's going to solve those problems with the money that was supposed to be for Carmelo's legal defense. Now, as I was saying, I look at this and I don't look at it as an isolated story. Because you got to look at the bigger picture here, right? And there is definitely a bigger picture here. And when you add this to the list of all of the other things going on, it just makes the family look that much worse. Am I going to say you're a bad person because you didn't pay some traffic tickets? Maybe you didn't even know that you had these tickets. Maybe you forgot. Things like that have happened to me before. I'm not here to make it out to be like, oh my God, this guy's a monster. Look, he didn't pay a traffic ticket. But when you just add it to everything else, to the long list of dirty deeds this family has done, yeah, it just doesn't look good. And you know, it's funny because not that long ago, Drew Anthony himself, he was trying to create rumors that him and his family had moved to Louisiana. But apparently that's not the case. Apparently they're still in Frisco. But he tried to put those rumors out there. And now we know that maybe he can't even go back to Louisiana without solving some of these issues first. And it's crazy because there's a warrant out for his arrest, but he's at the courthouse with his son. I would assume he's not hard to find. Wouldn't it be something if he's like at the courthouse with his son at one of these court dates and they show up and they haul him off because of this? That would be that would be kind of crazy. But yeah, to be someone wrapped up in the situation that they're wrapped up in now, you would think that would be kind of like a priority, right? Like, oh my God, my son's in all of this trouble. Let me go ahead and get my ducks in a row. Let me do this. Let me do that. But apparently, you know, that's not how these people operate. Apparently, they don't realize that it's a bad look when your kid is on trial for murdering someone and his father has an active warrant out for his arrest, regardless of what it may be. It's not a good look. And then you always get those people in the comment section, like right now, there will be people, well, technically, what his father does has nothing to do with the trial. They can't bring that up and da, 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 da. Look, jury members are human beings. They're not robots. You could think that the jury goes into a case not knowing anything about the case. That's not true in this day and age. Everyone has the internet. So the things that Karmelo's family is doing right now, and all of the bad PR they've gotten, every story that comes out like this one that makes them look worse, it makes matters worse for their son. Do you think this is doing Karmelo any favors? When mugshots of his father is spreading around because his father is too dumb just to pay off some traffic tickets? His father isn't responsible enough to pay off some traffic tickets? Do you think that's a good look? It's not a good look. And there's definitely more going on behind the scenes with this family as well. This is the tip of the iceberg. But at the very least, folks, we could look at this information that we've now been provided with, and we could at least come to the conclusion, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh my God, this guy's a monster. Look, he didn't pay his traffic tickets. But at the very least, I think it's safe to assume that maybe this guy isn't really responsible. Maybe he's not that good with managing money, and he has several theft charges in the past. And now you gave this guy, who has a history of stealing, who we know isn't paying his traffic tickets and stuff, now you gave this guy over $500,000, and you're wondering how it's being spent, right? You're wondering how it's being spent. Now, early on in this video, I said, you know what I think is going to happen? They're going to use some of Karmelo's money to solve their own legal problems. And while that is kind of gross to think about, at the same time, maybe that would be a good thing to do. Hey, you just got $500,000. Maybe go pay your $120-something traffic ticket so you don't get thrown in jail if you get pulled over, right? Maybe that would, you know, even though that's not what people donated for, maybe that would be smarter, right? That would be smarter than going and buying new cars and new shoes and new bow ties and new video game systems, right? We know for a fact that the money they've gotten we know that it ain't really going to the places where we thought it was going to go. I'm not saying they're not paying for lawyers and stuff like that. I'm saying that some of that money went elsewhere, right? And they've admitted that. They've already admitted that. So if you're going to spend the money on stupid stuff, at least to get your ducks in a row, get your personal affairs and business in order. But apparently, that's not high on the priority list. They'd rather go buy new J's, go buy a new car, and do whatever and live high on the hog, all while riding around without a license with an active warrant out for your arrest while you're awaiting a murder trial for your son. It's just not a good look. Not a good look at all. And like I said, I think we could look at this and at least come to the conclusion that maybe he's not the best person to be managing over $500,000. But you let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.